Tonight, a verdict for the fallen crypto king, Sam Bankman-Fried. The 31-year-old founder of FTX has now been found guilty on all 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy, now convicted of stealing billions of dollars from his own cryptocurrency customers. One of the biggest white-collar verdicts that we have seen since Bernie Madoff was sent to prison. More now with CNN national correspondent Jason Carroll. Jason, how long did the jury deliberate before coming to this guilty verdict tonight?
Caitlin deliberated for just about 4 hours, and as you say, convicted on all 7 counts, including wire fraud, securities fraud, commodities fraud. And I have to say, anyone who was watching this trial over the past month or so really not surprised by this outcome, given the overwhelming amount of evidence that prosecutors presented throughout the course of this trial, including financial documents, which showed fake balance sheets, showing that they tried to show that they had more money than they actually did, incriminating conversations between Bankman-Fried and some of his former executives, and testimony from some of his former executives who say he very well knew that he was stealing from his customers and using that money for whatever else that he wanted. Throughout this trial, Caitlin, prosecutors really portrayed this man as someone who was obsessed with greed, someone who was overly ambitious, a man who thought he could be president one day. And what they say basically happened is that he secretly used FTX, this cryptocurrency exchange that he founded, secretly used customers' money for whatever he wanted. It could have been to contribute to a political campaign, to buy property, or as they also said, to really prop up Alameda Research, this trading business that he had also founded, which was struggling financially. One of the star witnesses that court watchers that saw during the course of this trial, his ex-girlfriend, Carolyn Ellison. She's a former CEO from Alameda Research, and she said that he very well knew that they were stealing money from customers, funneling it to other places, that they lied to investors. She said that they lied to auditors. And of course, the man testified himself. Bankman-Fried testified and really tried to present himself his own narrative, showing that he was someone who was trying to make as much money as possible, to try to give as much money away to good causes. But he really didn't do himself any favors, because on cross-examination, when he was asked over and over about specific details about his business, he said, "I can't recall," or "I can't remember." He said that more than 100 times. Jurors just simply didn't buy it, Caitlin. And at the end of the day, what you're looking at here, $8 billion gone, lost. That's money that people had for investment, money that people were going to use for their savings. All of that money gone, prosecutors say, because of this man's greed. Just want to point out that the U.S. attorney came outside court just tonight and said the following about this. They said the government has no patience for fraud and corruption. He will be sentenced on March 28th.
And Jason,
Caitlin?
Just before you go, given he was at the top, he was the pinnacle of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
What was his reaction in court today when they read that guilty verdict?
Well, he was clearly nervous. Earlier during the evening, when he was standing in front of the court, he was tapping his foot. And a number of court observers, again, no surprise here, given the overwhelming amount of evidence that was presented here. And everyone was wondering what could possibly be the defense here. And again, at one point, the defense says he told jurors, if a mistake was made, it doesn't mean it's a crime. It was clear he was nervous, given the amount of time that jurors had to make their decision, just 4 hours. They, in all likelihood, knew what the outcome was going to be.